Dirty Snow here. We are live at the Snowmobile Hall of Fame in St. Germain, Wisconsin, where later tonight, the drivers of the 62nd World Championship will draw their qualifying numbers for time trials tomorrow. Here we are with Luke Olson, F3 driver. Luke, you've made the show the last 2 years. What are you looking forward to about this season?
Looking forward, hopefully making the show again, if everything goes to plan. We've had a few hiccups the past couple of years. Started but didn't finish last year, and started the year before that and got disqualified for a broken ski loop. So hoping we can make the show and stay in the show this year.
Yeah, absolutely. For a race this big, how do you prepare yourself mentally, physically, and to get yourself ready to handle those 25 grueling laps?
Yeah, being in the gym helps a lot. Being physically fit, having stamina to go all 25, and mentally, just making sure you're planning, getting ready, mentally preparing yourself for a long weekend.
How do you maintain focus throughout that long weekend? I mean, you guys are here for 4 or 5 days, long days in the trailer, long days on the track. How do you stay focused?
Just keeping an eye on what really matters, making the show and hopefully getting a good finish.
Absolutely.
Have a little bit of regrets from the last couple of years that, we don't want to go through again this year. So
absolutely. You were out on the practice track today. How'd that feel, and how's the ice holding up?
Felt good. I got out there, I think, fairly early, so ice was still in good shape when I went out there. It was pushed, seemed to me like it was pushed pretty far in. Could be a little bit different line come race day and stuff like that. But
as a competitor, what does the championship race mean to you?
Means a lot. Just being the big race of the year for a lot of us. I mean, this is why we put the F3s together, is to come out here and win the World Championship at Eagle River.
Absolutely, and we're wishing you nothing but the best of luck going forward. So that's Luke Olson, driver of the 04 sled. Thank you, Luke.
Yep.
Good. All right, here we are with the driver of the 221 sled, Reed Klinger. Reed, you've shown some speed in previous years on the F3. What are your goals going into the weekend?
Goals are probably to be, just as good as we can and just make adjustments where we kind of need them, and hopefully we go in the right direction and not visit the hay bales. That is goal number one, probably.
Absolutely. Rubber side down, shiny side up.
Yeah.
What challenges have you found in racing F3s compared to some of the other sleds that you've ran in the past?
Challenges is probably just getting used to how they drive and stuff like that. Coming from an F500, you're kind of just holding it on and just kind of being the crap out of it. And here you kind of got to work one with the sled, and from going from the trailing arm to an A-arm sled to just a different camber and stuff like that. But it's all fun, and that's kind of just part of it. And it's got power, so that's nice too.
Yeah, and you ran for the championship last year. You didn't make the show.
No, so last year we ran Friday, and then I decided I was running my 500 on Saturday, and then I ended up visiting the bales on that sled. So I kind of pulled myself out of the WC last year, so I never even made it to the quarterfinals or anything like that. So
what do you have to do this year to make sure you put yourself on the front row?
This year we're just going to run one sled on Saturday, Sunday. So that's kind of the main thing, and just focus on that and go out there and just plan on being up front.
As a little bit of a newcomer in the sport, any advice on to someone that's looking to get into snowmobile racing?
Just enjoy it and buy whatever the fastest sled you can buy is.
Spoken like a true racer. So that is Reed Klinger on the 221 sled. He's got that nice shiny hood.
Yeah.
You'll be able to see him on Flow Racing, no problem.
For now, that's for sure.
Reed Klinger. We're here with the driver of the number 75 sled, Kelvin Cook. Kelvin, relatively young racer, but you've made the big show before.
Yep.
What are you looking forward to this season?
Just have a safe weekend and try to put it back in the show again. We've got a new sled with very few laps on it, so it'll be a learning curve going into the weekend, just trying to get that sled to work the way we need it to, but we know it's got speed and we just need to work on our handling. So
Absolutely. Did you get yourself out on the test track today?
we did not. We were stuck waiting for the tech guys today, so we got them all buttoned up this afternoon and we'll see what happens in the morning in time trials.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got on the F3 a few times already this year up in Beausejour and looked pretty competitive. What edge are you going to have on your opponents for the weekend?
Just wait, I guess. I weigh a lot less than them, but we got to get it to handle and work the way we need to. And sometimes weight's not the best thing there, but we'll see what we can get done.
Yeah, and are you running your champ this weekend at all?
Yeah, we're just gonna run that tomorrow night and go from there.
Perfect. How do those two compare,
Uh,
race edge wise?
They don't.
They don't.
They're two completely different animals.
Okay.
So,
How involved are you in the technical aspects of your sled? You know, you see some drivers, they can be just show up and ride, which is perfectly fine, but you own your own F3. How involved are you in this day-to-day setup of that?
I basically do everything. So I build all of my own sleds. So I guess I'm all of the involvement. So
All right.
yeah.
Perfect. So this is Calvin Cook, the driver of the number 75 sled. You'll see him out there on the track starting tomorrow. We're here with driver of the number 57, Zach DeWalt. Zach, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here. So you're not new to the podium at Eagle River. You placed second 2 years ago and fourth last year. What are you trying to do this year to get you one spot better?
We're just finally got some test time in this year. Made a lot of changes to our sled, hopefully for the better. Keep inching forward and try to put her in the show first and go from there. Well, I think 25 of that feature plays in our favor. So
Yeah, you're a Myra driver. You're used to the enduros. Do you think that plays a better hand for you come feature time?
I think so. The conditions change throughout that race quite a bit, and I think it plays more in the favor of the enduro style. You know, kind of with a lot of stuff on the track and sliding through the corners and stuff. So maybe a little bit of dirt on the track. Hopefully not this year.
Yeah. Do you prepare any differently for the sprint races versus the enduro races?
Setup wise, for sure. Other than that, just get on the sled and go.
Go as fast as you can every lap, right? Do you feel any pressure coming to these events at all, as far as a driver trying to represent your team?
For sure. We got a lot of great people behind us. A lot of people that put in a lot of hours in the shop, outside of the shop, you know, getting ready for events like this. And there's definitely an expectation for me to come perform here. So, but everybody has their role and I need to do mine.
Absolutely. Did you happen to get out on the practice track today?
I did. Yep, got a few laps in today. Felt good. I think we got a good start to the weekend.
Absolutely. How do you guys stay on top of adjustments as a team to keep the sled fast all weekend?
Looking at the weather, looking at how the track's going to develop, trying to inch towards it. I mean, there's always something to something to make it better.
Any advice for someone trying to get into the F3 class?
Send it. Go
Send
get
it.
one. You can't win on the couch, so don't talk about it, be about it.
Absolutely. That's great advice. That's Zach DeWalt, driver of the number 57 sled.
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks.
All right. We're here with the driver of the number 29 sled, Joey Birch. Joey, also a Mira driver. I'm going to ask you the same thing I asked Zach. Do you feel being an enduro driver gives you a little bit of an advantage in the 25 laps?
A little bit. The big thing is we're used to going 50, 75 laps at a time before anything to get off the sled. So I know last year I kind of laid back a little bit. First year on an F3 was last year. So kind of paced myself a little bit too long. The white flag come out, and I was not used to it being that short of it being over with. So hopefully this year, if I make it in, we can push a little bit sooner.
Yeah, and you've been on the F3 already this season. You were up in Beausieur, did pretty well up there. How good is that early season test time?
It means a lot. I know like a lot of the guys out west, northern part, they get ice a lot sooner than us back in Michigan, where they get a lot more time on the sled. Where going up to Canada, the first time I sat on a sled was up there besides the year previous. Did pretty well up there. So as much seat time as you can before a race like this means a lot.
Yeah. When you go into a field that's this competitive, what gives you an edge over your competitors?
I think the big thing is like Zach and I just come from enduro, longer races, of having more of the mentality of saving the sled there for the end, stay out of the dirt and stuff like that. Just more endurance type of deal.
How does the sprint racing compare to the enduro? I mean, is it 100 laps tougher on an enduro or 25 in a sprint?
It's kind of give and take. Sometimes enduro is a little bit harder. Last couple of years, the enduro's been more of similar to like 75, 100 lap sprint races almost. But where with the sprint racing, you got so less a lap, so you got to push harder sooner. Big thing with that.
Perfect. Any defining moment in your career so far?
I'd say 2 years ago, winning the Sui 500. Last year, coming close to second. And then last year, getting second at the WC was definitely one.
Yeah, absolutely. So looking to improve one more spot. Anything in particular you got to do to make it happen this year?
Just be patient. Make sure you're there at the end. Don't do anything stupid to be in the right place at the right time. Just capitalize on that.
Perfect. This is Joey Birch, driver of the number 29 sled.
Thank you.
We're here with driver of the number 33T sled, Tyler Foster. Tyler, you're not new to Eagle River. You're a little bit newer in the F3 class. What do you got to do to put yourself in the show?
We were able to actually get some test laps this year. Seems like the last couple of years the weather hasn't been, as good to have practice here, and it's always good, nice to have practice in Eagle River because every year the track changes, and this is my first time this year being out on the ice, so it's definitely a lot of changes we got to make.
Perfect. So, how do you keep yourself mentally focused as a driver? This is a long weekend. The level of competition is very high. How do you stay focused and kind of ignore all the outside distractions?
Yeah, just kind of, I don't know, focus on yourself. And when you're out there, you know, watch, pick a line. If that doesn't work, then go to the next one. Or, you kind of got to move around out there. But then, when you're off the track, you can also watch other people ride and watch where they're going. Or, the track always changes too. So you always got to make changes and, just be ready for what comes next.
Absolutely. Any takeaways on how the Derby is ran in previous years that you've seen that you can use to adapt to your strategy for the weekend?
Just that weather is just always, I don't know, it's always like last year was warm. This year it's cold. You just kind of got to work with it. Everybody changes everything, and they do their hard work out on the track, and it's always awesome to see how many people out there working on the track and make it and sure it's the way it needs to be for all the racers, and we just really appreciate what they do for us.
Perfect. This is Tyler Foster on the number 33 sled. You'll see him racing tomorrow.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
We're here with driver of the number 14 F3, Tanner Foss. Tanner, you're a little bit new to the F3 class this year. A lot of experience in Champ and Pro Light. Are you ready to step up to the stage of the WC?
I think so. I mean, I've been super fortunate enough to live so close to Strathcona, so I've put in a lot of laps on the F3, feeling more and more comfortable on it. So I'm excited.
Perfect. It's a very tough field this year, tight level of competition. What gives you a step above the rest?
Practice time, test time. I mean, you can work out a lot and everything, but there's nothing like actually driving the sled and works different muscles and just to make best friends with your sled.
Yeah. Any nerves before such a big weekend at all?
Yeah. I mean, there's always nerves. If you're not nervous, you're crazy. But
and then you put the helmet on, nerves go away a little bit, or are you still?
Yeah, I'd say as soon as the green flag lifts up, then it all kind of goes away and you just kind of get in the zone.
Okay, perfect. How do you adapt the changes on the track as the weekend goes along? As we know, the ice is going to wear. We're going to get the bumps. Do you prefer a smooth track or a rough track with your driving style?
Well, smooth tracks are always nice, but I mean, we don't flood the track in Strathcona until the Strathcona Cup, so it gets pretty rough out there. So I'm good with either or. I like rough. I like smooth.
Perfect. Any expectations going in the weekend in your debut?
I'd say make the show, and then when you make the show, go from there.
Absolutely. So that's Tanner Foss on the number 14 DL Racing sled.
Thank you.
What do I do with my hands?
We're here with number 39 driver Tom Olson. Tom, you've had success in the past at Eagle River in multiple forms of racing. What's it going to take to win the big one this year?
Be fast and be consistent. Just gotta have the most consistent laps and just keep plugging away at them is the biggest thing, and just kind of be the leader or have the leader in your sights the whole time.
Yeah, for a race this big, how do you prepare yourself mentally and physically to go out and do your best?
The biggest thing really is just getting laps. You know, if we're fortunate enough this year to have really good weather and turn some laps, so that's the biggest thing. The other thing is just kind of physical fitness and running on the treadmill a little bit and just keeping up with everyday healthy activities, I would say.
With this being the World Championship and 25 laps straight, how do you approach strategy different from other races?
I mean, there's other racers in the room. I can't reveal my strategy. Come on. I would just say be consistent. You know, that's the biggest thing, really. Be consistent. Keep yourself in the race. Be smart. It's a long race, so be patient as well. And really, the race comes to you when you're patient and consistent, I would say.
What's some of the biggest challenges with running WC?
Yeah, it's a really good question. Obviously, a really good sled, but I don't have to worry about that because I got the best in the business with Wall Brothers behind me, and really appreciate the efforts that they put in. It's a lot of time put in. For me personally, it's just being physically fit and just know that you can do it and breathe. You know, as funny as it sounds, you forget to breathe when you're out there sometimes. So about 5 laps in, you're like, oh, shoot, I need to breathe.
Absolutely. Are you a guy that prefers the smooth track or a little bit rougher track?
I like the rougher track because not everybody can drive it, and I can.
Perfect. That's Tom Olson, driver of the number 39 Wall Brothers Polaris. You'll see him out there tomorrow. We're here with the driver of the number 6 sled, Gavin Peterson, last year's 5th place finisher. Gavin, how do you go about improving on last year's finish?
Last year was for sure a learning year for me. It was first time even attempting to qualify for the WC, first year in the F3. I'd say it was a pretty good step this year, hoping for just a top 3 and just building off everything, you know.
Yeah, how do you prepare yourself mentally for the weekend? It's a long 4 or 5 days here in Eagle River. How do you stay on top of it?
I think having the last couple races, you know, Beausejour and Ironwood, those prepare you, just getting them laps in every weekend and testing during the week too. That helps.
What's the most challenging part of running up here at Eagle River?
The amount of days you got to stay up here gets long.
As a younger driver in the field, do you feel that gives you an advantage in terms of longevity compared to a few of the other drivers?
A little bit. I know I'm going to be around a lot longer than some of these guys. So yeah, yes and no, but also they have more experience than me, so that helps them.
What's going through your mind on the start line, waiting for the green flag to drop?
You just got to kind of focus in. I don't really get like too nervous about it per se, just because I know I'm going to finish how I'm going to finish, and then you can really do about it. So
what is one thing that'll set you above the rest of the field compared to the rest of your competitors?
I'm going to try hard and I ain't going to quit.
Perfect. That is Gavin Peterson, driver of the number 6 sled.
Thank you.
We're here with the driver of the number 231 sled, Ben Lungus. Ben, you're no stranger to different varieties of snowmobile racing. You got a good enduro and cross country background. How do you set yourself up for success on the oval?
Yeah, it's all about seat time for me. Every time I get on that sled on an oval, I'm learning, I'm improving, whether it's setup or clutching or you name it. It's a different animal than the cross country and even enduro setup, so it's been fun.
How much experience do you have on the oval setup?
Well, my first WC run was in 22, and that was really my first sprint race, period. Before then, it was just purely cross country and enduro half mile in the Sioux.
What do you got to do to get yourself in a position to make the show on Sunday?
Just being fast off the line and, hitting my marks, keeping it safe out there too, stay out of any trouble, pick good lines and be consistent.
Do you feel that being an enduro / cross country driver gives you a little bit more of an advantage, being that this race is a 25 lapper?
Yeah, 25 is pretty short. Granted, these sleds are far more aggressive, right? So it's not apples to apples, but I'm not too concerned about 25 laps, and I think the endurance will not be a problem, and just got to keep the equipment good and run fast laps.
What's one of the most crucial steps in a championship race like this to you?
Crucial steps of success?
Yeah, crucial steps to success to keep the weekend going, keep the morale positive in the trailer.
Yep, just got to make sure we're staying on top of things with the sled and performing at all times on the best the sled can, and personally myself, like I said, hitting my marks consistently lap after lap is what I'm focusing on.
Do you find a 25 lap sprint would be more challenging than a 100 lap enduro?
Nope. And I just say that because there's a lot that can happen in 100 laps. 25 laps is not short by any means, but usually there's 30 drivers on the enduro track as well, which is, you're picking up lappers a lot quicker, and it's just a different animal. The sprint race is really aggressive though, so I'm looking forward to it.
Perfect. This is Ben Lungus on the driver of the number 231.
Thanks.
We're here with the driver of the number 61 sled, Ezra Grauman. Ezra, you're looking to qualify for the first time for your first WC. What's that mean to you?
This was all kind of a back burner for us. We were focusing on a champ and fell into an F3 situation here, and very excited to be here this weekend. This is all just kind of a stepping stone, reminding us why we want to be here, finding the fun in racing again.
Absolutely. How do you go about preparing yourself for a race like this? It's 25 grueling laps, not a shorter sprint deal.
Yeah, so all year goes into it. Been training all year, really trying to dial myself in physically and mentally, really preparing myself for everything. Lately, the last couple weeks, we've been doing a little bit longer test laps on the pond and everything, getting everything set in and trying to just get the best odds and the best feeling of the sled and long term.
What's your goal for the weekend?
Have fun all weekend.
Have fun?
Yep. We just want to leave here knowing that we did everything we could, whatever ends at that, we're just here to have fun.
Did you get out on the test track today?
Yes. Yep. Yeah. The ice is pretty hard out there. It's a lot of fun though, man. I like Eagle. I like the track. I like the banks here in the tight corners. I don't know. I like this place.
How do you stay on top of adjustments all weekend? You know, it's a 3-day event, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And how do you keep your sled handling fast?
I think it's a lot of line selection too. I don't look for the rough lines. And then like throughout the performance end of the sled, I got a lot of guys behind me. Big shout out to Brian Norman. He does everything, and I couldn't be here without him. I'm not gonna lie. He's the pilot behind this thing.
Perfect. So this is Ezra Grauman on the number 61 F3. You'll see him out on the track this weekend.
Thank you.
We're here with the driver of the 102 sled, 4-time world champion, Blaine Stevenson. Blaine, you're no newcomer to the WC. What do you got to do to get yourself back on top of the podium?
Just, I don't know. Matt's in the room, so beat him, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So, no, I think we just decent hole shot, and then handling is the key to these big sleds, and the endurance to get all the way there. So,
yeah, and it's 25 laps straight this year, barring any red flags. Are you a driver that prefers the 25 straight, or do you like the break?
no, I'd rather we just flag to flag it. The better. It's been better. It's been better for me in my career. Just being able to work through the pack, and I'm not really a hole shot guy, I'm more of a passing guy. So the more time that I get, the better.
Yeah. When you wake up on championship day, How do you prepare yourself mentally going into the big race?
Just like any other race day, really. I haven't treated it much different. And don't lose sleep. I usually sleep pretty well on Saturday night, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, just another day.
Being a 4-time world champion, do you have a favorite as far as win up here at Eagle?
They're all cool. In 2018 it was kind of fluky, but we were where we were and we were able to wrap it up. 2019 I was proud of just being able to hold off and I still felt like I was a kind of a young kid that really wasn't proven enough to people. So that was cool. 2020, like the whole like having pressure of being able to be the first to three-peat, and then when we were spun out when we were in the lead, and then coming from the back to the front, that was like the coolest. It was like the coolest single lap in Eagle River history, I think. Just going from last to fourth in a lap, and then being able to drive the rest of the way up was cool. And then the fourth one was big too, but I don't know. Yeah, they're all cool. The whole coming from the back was neat.
That and hopefully the next one, right?
That's right.
Being that we're at the Hall of Fame, 4-time world champion and a very successful racing career, have you given it any thoughts that someday your plaque will probably be on the wall out here?
It'd be neat, but Terry Wall isn't even up there. I mean, Terry Wall is like the greatest twin track racer of all time. So until Terry's there, I won't be accepting any registration to be in the Hall of Fame.
All right. Well, the Hall of Fame knows what they need to do now. If
That's
they want to
right.
get you here
Terry Wall
down the road. So this is Blaine Stevenson, driver of the number 102. You'll see him out on the track this Sunday. We're here with Matt Gady, driver of the number 28 Skidoo, 2-time defending world champion. Matt, do you feel any added pressure going into this weekend to try to get 3 in a row?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. But at the end of the day, it's just going to be another race, and you can only do as best as you can, I guess. So there's definitely a little bit of pressure, but I feel like probably got a big target on my back. So we got to practice today, and things felt pretty good. So yeah, I'm pretty confident going into the rest of the weekend, though.
That's good. And you were here last weekend, finished with a runner-up finish in the Vintage World Championship. Do you feel like running the weekend prior gives you a little bit of an advantage going into this weekend?
If we didn't practice, I'd say probably a little bit of advantage, but being we got testing in today, I think everyone pretty much went out there that's going to, be in the WC. I don't think running last week was a huge advantage. The track's pretty smooth, so it's not like there's some secret line that you would have found the week before or nothing. So, but maybe helping your confidence a little bit. It would maybe have been a little bit better if we won last week to help the confidence, but we ran good all weekend. So I think, just getting that little bit of track time probably helped a little, but not too much.
Yeah, and going into the weekend, we're going to see a big temperature swing in weather. How much of a factor is that going to play in going from above freezing on Friday to well below 0 come race time on Sunday?
Yeah, that's a question that I don't really have the answer for. I think it can go both ways. When it's warm, it seems like you have a hard time taking off without spinning, just because ice is soft and it spins. And I feel when it gets really hard, you're probably going to have that same issue. And I noticed last year when it was really cold here Friday night, none of the champ sleds really turned that well. So I'd imagine we're probably going to be lacking a little bit of front end grip, but I guess time will tell.
Yeah, what's the key to maintaining focus during the whole long weekend that we're up here?
Yeah, I think just keeping your eye on the end game. Just trying to learn every little bit you can when you're on the track every time, and try to make that sled, especially for the Sunday race, as easy to drive in 25 laps as possible, and hopefully it's fast too. But yeah, as far as like other mental things about, just stay focused, I guess, and just think about that 25 laps and things you can do to help yourself in the race, I guess.
Yeah, and you've won the Sweet 16 on Friday night before, where you haven't had to run during the Saturday qualifiers. How do you stay up on track changes without being on the track?
Honestly, the last couple of years, we won Sweet 16 both races or both years, and the sled's been so good. I haven't been really too worried about missing out on that track time. But they give us those couple laps Sunday morning, which I think is honestly an advantage because the guys who made the front row don't even get anything on Sunday. So it's nice taking Saturday off, honestly. So
gives the crew and yourself a little time
right.
to R&R and fine tune everything.
Yes, exactly. Go through the sled, make sure everything's tight and how it should be, and then you still get them couple laps Sunday morning to, get on the track and see what's changed or if you need to make adjustments. So yeah.
Yeah, perfect. This is Matt Gay driving the number 28 sled, the two-time defending world champion, going for number 3.
Thanks.
Well, that was easy.